Hey folks, and here is the KYN News Medley of the week.
Firefighters are true heroes that deserve our respect and appreciation, and yet they are also human, and as such are prone to errors in judgment like any of us. Sora News 24 reports that a Japanese man was clearing land by his parents' home when he was confronted by insects that he believed to be murder hornets. In an effort to ward off the flying beasts, he pulled out a road flare, lit it up, and threw it at the bugs. The flare landed in a pile of dry grass and ignited. Within minutes, almost 500 square feet of grass and trees were engulfed in flames. Fortunately, the man who had inadvertently started the fire was the chief of the local fire department. Backup was called, and 3 fire engines and 11 other firefighters arrived. It took about 30 minutes to extinguish the blaze, but luckily no one was injured and there was no serious damage to property. A press conference was later held in which the chief apologized, saying, "I am very sorry that I started a fire, having just called on residents to be careful not to start wildfires." Many comments online were stern in nature, but some people appreciated the irony of the situation. Said one person, "But did he kill the bugs?"
What do you do if you're the victim of a road rage incident where the other person shoots at you? Maybe, just maybe, you should not follow the shooter home. WSB-TV2 reports that a man did just that after someone fired a gun at his car during an incident in Atlanta, Georgia. The victim, who chose not to be identified, said someone fired at his car after being upset with how he tried to merge onto a highway. The victim says he quickly pulled up behind the shooter while on the phone with 911. And then he said, "I followed him. I just didn't think he was going to actually come to his house." Once at his home, the shooter allegedly went inside and got more guns to shoot at the victim again, but missed. He proceeded to go in the house, get an assault rifle or whatever it may be. And if I had to count, maybe 3 to 4 more shots, the victim said. Atlanta police identified the shooter as Quincy Adam Rogers. Rogers told them the man cut him off in traffic. He then admitted that when he drove past the other car, he fired a single shot. He also admitted to police that when the other driver followed him to his home, he went inside, retrieved more guns, and began shooting again, but missed. Police arrested Rogers and charged him with aggravated assault and damage to property. But Rogers wasn't the only one packing heat that day. The victim had a gun on him as well. He said he decided not to use his own gun to defend himself and instead got the police involved. Good idea, but following the shooter home? Not so much.
We've all heard stories about phone scammers targeting seniors, but a con artist from Jamaica picked the wrong 90-year-old to mess with. According to the Chicago Tribune, the man from Jamaica, later identified as Kenneal Thomas, phoned a 90-year-old man from Washington named William Webster in 2014. He told Webster that he had won $72 million and a new Mercedes-Benz in the Mega Millions lottery. But in order to get his winnings, of course, Mr. Webster had to send the man $50,000 in taxes and fees. Thomas had done his research on Webster in order to make his scam appear legitimate. He referenced Webster's past as a judge, an attorney, a basketball player, and a member of the U.S. Navy. But unfortunately for the scammer, his research failed to uncover something pretty important. You see, William Webster was the former director of the FBI and the CIA, and was the only person ever to hold both jobs. Webster knew it was a scam, and the next day he called Thomas back with the FBI listening in. Webster obtained the man's real name and email address while stringing him along and never quite committing to sending the $50,000. Thomas was eventually charged with attempted extortion, but he wasn't arrested until late 2017 after he landed in New York on a flight from Jamaica. He pleaded guilty and initially faced a prison term of 33 to 41 months, but in 2019, another 2.5 years were added to Thomas's sentence, giving him nearly 6 years to serve. The FBI was able to document that Thomas collected at least $300,000 with his scam from about 3 dozen victims, and the judge said the scam qualified as organized criminal activity. Today, according to KWTX, Mr. Webster, who is now 98 years old, is doing public service announcements reminding seniors and their loved ones to be wary of elder fraud schemes. As for Mr. Thomas, he's now in a place with nothing but time to think about a change of career, perhaps.
Most of us shop online and have experienced receiving one tiny little item packed inside an oversized box. But a grandmother in the UK couldn't believe her eyes when her gardening tool arrived in a box big enough to sleep in. The Mirror reports that 64-year-old Jan Tulloch, an avid gardener, ordered a digging bar on Amazon to help break up clay in her garden. But when it arrived, it came packed in a massively oversized box that measured 6 feet long and towered above her. Initially, Tulloch didn't even realize the enormous package was for her, naturally assuming it was meant for one of her neighbors. Upon seeing the large parcel, Jan's daughter Nicola joked that her mother must have been secretly treating herself to a new sofa. Shocked by the size, the 5'6" tall Jan posed beside the box alongside the digging bar in a bid to demonstrate the scale of the packaging. And to drive her point home further, Jan asked her 14-year-old grandson Alfie, who stands 6'3", to hop inside the box and stand straight up. Jan is calling on Amazon to cut their packaging down in an effort to help save the environment. She said, "I just thought it was a huge joke. It was ridiculous." An Amazon spokesperson told the Mirror, "Amazon is committed to reducing packaging waste and using less packaging material."
Bruh.
Evidently not, based on the size of that box.
RESPECT. Click the subscribe button and find out what it means to me. Nah, that doesn't have a ring to it. But if you like videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, subscribe now.